Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Nobody Show. It's been about a good 2 weeks since I put out a podcast. Sorry for the delay. It's been a bit busy around my life lately. A lot of things have happened in the past past 2 weeks, I would say. Lots of cramming for school. Cramming's a bad use of a word. I guess lots of studying would be better. Lots of studying, lots of papers. So I had some car issues go down. But all in all, everything is great now. Everything's awesome. I've had a few interviews for jobs. Still waiting to hear back from that. But it's been pretty good. Today, actually, when this will be going up, yesterday, I launched a Twitch page, which was kind of a long time coming, I guess I would say. Considering I have, this YouTube channel, I've had a lot of friends who are like, hey, do a Twitch, do Twitch. And I was like a little apprehensive about it. I didn't know if it would go over well. Didn't know if things would pan out for me, all that kind of stuff. But needless to say, I did, and I did it like I said yesterday. When this video will be going up, it will have been yesterday. And I streamed the Battlefront 2 beta. Actually, that just came out. Oh, it's super fun. It's a lot of fun to play, very fast paced. It's a lot better than the first one, so I'm really happy about that. But anyway, I digress. I will put a link in the description to my Twitch down below, and if you guys want to check out further future streams or video clips in there, it'll be much like this, except there will be streaming there, more video game oriented stuff. So if you want to take a look at it, then hey, check it out. More power to you. Anyway, let's get into the topic of today, and today's topic is going to be a little bit more of a personal topic, I would say. It's going to be the topic of just self-confidence and just a sense of self. Lately, it's been kind of hard to find a job out here. Lots of interviews I've had, and just people saying no, or just interviews that you hear from and then you never hear back. You go to and never hear back from, and just lately I've just been having just a string of bad luck. Just down on my luck type stuff. Whether it's the job things, not hearing back, or getting a no answer from them, or working all night on a paper or a project and then getting a kind of not the grade you think you deserved on it, even though you met all the stipulations for it, or just just missing home, and all that can take into all that taken into account, it can take a toll on your on your personal self. And I kind of just wanted to elaborate on more of that because I know that with all that bearing down on you, you start to kind of think, in a different light. Like, man, nothing's going good for me, or, why isn't so and so coming back so I can work, or am I not doing a good enough job, or do I not look like a good candidate? And know I can do a good job, and just all these things just make for stressful, frustrating moments in your life, and it could weigh down on a person. I know that feeling that kind of stress and just events that happen, that doubt starts to set in, and it takes a toll on you. You start to think like, I'm never gonna get this job, or I'm never gonna be good enough to do this, or never gonna be good enough to do that, or things like that, or just doubting everything in general, like why am I doing this? Why did I come here? Blah blah blah. And that's kind of how I feel if I don't put something up, here sometimes, and I know I shouldn't feel that way. It's my channel. I'm going to do whatever the heck I want. But, I'm like, oh, man, I'm got all these studies to do. And if I don't put something out, then, oh man, like, what are people going to think? And, whatever. And it should never be that way. And like I said, it's my channel. I can do whatever I want. So, but, I think people forget that there isn't any agenda that says like you have to do this now. You gotta get this out right now, or you gotta put this out. You gotta upload this. You gotta write that song. You gotta make that podcast. And I think people tend to forget that. I think people forget that it's the world is a lot bigger. It has a lot bigger grand scheme of things. Everything doesn't need to be like boom boom now. It's like take your time. And do what you need to do. Don't let yourself get lost in the overall spectrum of things. And don't let that doubt set in. It's like, sure, people always get down on their luck, and bad things happen, or you just don't have the greatest luck at times, or things just aren't panning out for you. You know what I mean? This whole, whether that be a job or whether that be anything, it's like sometimes things just don't pan out. But that's not a reason, to get down on yourself. Instead of using that that bad luck, and making it into doubt in your mind, turn it into a strength. Turn it into something that you can use to keep going. You're like, oh man, I didn't get applied to, I applied to this place and I didn't get the job, but you know what? That means I'm only going to try harder on the next one. And, if that doesn't work out, then you keep going and going. And, I know that's easier said than it is done, of course, but, life has little speed bumps, and, you got to use those times of doubt and stress and frustration to your advantage. You got to turn them into things that are better for you, into strengths. And you got to say, I didn't get, first or second place, but you know what? I'm going to try harder next time to get there. I'm going to train harder. I didn't get, that job that I wanted, or, I didn't, completely, feel like I did really good in that interview, but you know what? I'm going to do better on the next one and impress even more. And, I didn't do good on this project, but, you bet on this next one. I'm going to study real hard, twice as hard, and do twice as good, and, do everything I can to get what I deserve. And I think people forget that, I think they do. And helping, helping like, helping those doubts, that doesn't sound right. Improving those doubts is what I want to say. To use them as your strengths is something that I think a lot of people forget. I think that many people just see those things and, just think like, oh, this is how it's going to be, or, oh man, I suck because of this, or, oh, I'm stupid, or, whatever, instead of thinking, I don't understand this, but what can I do to improve this? I'm not doing good in this, so how can I improve it in this way? And keeping, that high self-confidence, and getting those doubts out of your mind, because I'm a very firm believer in that once you place those doubts, in your head, or you have that just pre-notion of, I can't do this, or, this isn't going to work for me, or, not having that confidence, then you've already set yourself up for failure. You've already set yourself up to fail, because, if you keep thinking like, I can't do this, or I don't know it, or, oh, I'm just going to screw this up, then why even try? Because if you already told yourself that, then you're not going to try as hard. If you don't have that notion of, I can do this, or, I'm the best at this, or, I can nail this, then you're going to give it your all. You're going to give it your 100%, and it's going to come naturally to you. But if you set yourself up for failure, then you're only going to give it 25%. You're only going to be like, oh, I'm going to botch this, so, why even try? And you can't do that. You got to keep going. You got to keep plugging and chugging and going until you get what you want. And that's just kind of, how it is and how it has to be. You can't fall into this, a pit of just, setting yourself up for, oh, I can't do this, or this is how it's always going to be. Because once you get there, you start to lose yourself. You get down on yourself, and, you get sad, and, you think of other things that you could have done better, and you think of all this other stuff that you wish you could have improved on, or, man, I wish this was better, or, why didn't I do this? And don't forget about that, Past the past. Once something's done, like, it's done, that's it. You can't go back and fix it. So why go and rethink about it? Why rethink on the, what coulda, shoulda, woulda, instead of thinking, you know what, I did it, didn't pan out, you know what, I'm going to do better next time. And that's what happens, lately that's how I've been feeling. For a while at least. I felt that way, being away from home and, kind of just dealing with, job interview after job interview not going too well, and, trying to make stuff for the channel, but at the same time, I'm like, man, I need to get my sleep because I have class tomorrow and all this other stuff. You kind of fall away from, just having confidence and just kind of having a set mind of just all they got to do is work. That's it. Just work. And if I don't do good, then I'm a failure. And that's not it. And I hate how people think that that's all there is to it. That if I don't do my best, then I'm a failure. And that's not how it is, especially at universities, or school. A lot of college kids that I know of tend to think that way. That if I do not get an A, or if I do not pass this, if I don't pass this class with this grade, then I'm a failure. That's it. That I fail. I've already failed. And that's not it. And I hate seeing that. I really do, because you get these people who have such great knowledge, and these great minds of students who are really smart in their field of study, who just don't either don't do as well as they want, or don't get the grade they think they deserve, and automatically they're like, I failed. That's it. This isn't, I failed. Like, I'm dumb. And that's not it. It's not it. It's more of learning instead of just a grade. A grade doesn't define you. A certain success or failure doesn't define who you are. And there's other things that you're good at that do. Just because you get on the horse the first time doesn't mean you're going to be an expert that first time. You know what I mean? And it's about the process of learning how to get there, rather than just doing it, is what defines you. It's about how much work you put in to getting what you want. That determines if you're a success or not. If just anybody can go take a test, and get a good or bad grade, but the success is defined by, did you study for that test? Did you put in the effort to get what you wanted? Instead of just going in and whatever, half butting it and getting what you get. It's not about that. It's about what you learn, because later on in life, it doesn't matter what grades you get. A boss isn't going to care if you got an A+ on your English exam from the sophomore year of college. They're going to care about the work you put in. And if you're always primarily focused on just the grades, just the goal, just scoring points, just putting out videos, then you've completely lost the work ethic, or I don't know, I'm searching for a word and it's eluding me right now. But the overall goal of what there is, because it's not about the end result. Like I said, it's about the path to get there. Did you put in the work? Did you get there? Because that ultimately is what's going to bring you success. When you're in the workplace, if someone says, I want this by this day, okay, well, you can't just do that. Like, there it is. No, you need to put in work and research for it. There's a process to it. Now, you can't just, boom, there it is. And a lot of people forget that. And another thing, too, about this whole thing is that I'm tired of people hearing that, I'm stupid, or, I'm dumb, I can't do that. I hate hearing that. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that from smart people, like, I'm stupid, or I'm dumb, I can't do this. And it's like, why do you think that way? People are smart as a whole. People are smart, and individual people are smarter in one thing than they are in another. And that's just how it works. If you're not good at, textbook education, that doesn't mean you're not good at something else. If you're not, good at, say, at woodworking or something, that doesn't mean you're not good at, I don't know, metalworking or something along that nature. So nobody's stupid. Everyone's good at something. Just because you don't grasp a concept right away, or don't grasp something right off the bat, that doesn't mean you're dumb. It doesn't mean you're stupid. It just means you might need a little improvement in that area versus somebody else. And there's something that person probably isn't good at that you are. Everyone has their own, I guess, area that they succeed at. And that's just how it is. I'm tired of hearing, people always say, like, I'm stupid or I'm dumb. No, you're not. No, you're not. Everybody can learn something. And that's just how it is. And I'm a firm believer in that. I just am. That every class that I take, that I don't know, or I'm put in, and I'm like, man, this concept is something that's hard for me to grasp, or this part of the overall section we're learning is hard for me to get. But that doesn't mean I'm dumb. That only means that I don't know it, but I can learn it, and anything you don't know, you can always learn. So that doesn't mean people are stupid. And I'm tired of hearing that because, like I said, everyone should just have self-confidence in who they are. Everyone should just believe in themselves, because once you don't, you lose that. And you just begin to have this mind of, I can't do anything, or, whatever. And that just isn't going to lead you to good places. It's going to lead you to being sad all the time and always thinking you're a failure and just, oh, this isn't going to work for me, or just kind of being like, all the time. Instead of waking up and saying, you know what, I'm going to do the best I can. And that's what I'm going to do. And that's what you're going to get. And just keeping, your self-confidence and yourself just happy and up, and seeing, the good things, all the time instead of all the failures. And it's like, sure, sometimes there might be more failures than successes. But you know what? Those successes probably outweigh, the feeling of those failures a lot. As people say, I think it was it Rome wasn't built in a day? Yeah, the Rome wasn't built in a day, or the wheel wasn't created in a day. I've heard that one before too. You're always going to fail a handful of times before you ultimately succeed. Everyone is. That's just how it is. So it is what it is. I mean, same thing with me making this channel. Sure, is the content super quality? No. Do I post all the time? No. And is it always going to be how I want to be on track? No. Life happens all the time, and my friends always, give me crap for it, like, oh, I'm going to unsubscribe if you don't put something out, or like, hey, man, where are the videos at? And things happen, the numbers aren't always going to be there, but that doesn't mean that I can't work to it. That's just how it is. But sorry if this was kind of convoluting, guys, or, like, oh, you're bouncing around all over the place. It's a little late, and I kind of just felt like making this podcast video because I'm like, you know what? People need to be reminded that you can always do your best. And your best is when you just do you. And just keep doing you. Because that ultimately is what is going to bring you success. And always remember that it doesn't matter if you don't know it, if you can't do it, you don't think you're doing a good enough job, or you're not getting the results that you're getting, it doesn't mean you're dumb. It just means you work a little harder. And remember, it's not the grade, it's not the position, it's not the end result or the end product that defines you. It's about the process you take and the work you put in to get there that separates you from the rest. And sometimes that might be more than others, and sometimes it might be stressful to see that. But all in all, that ultimately is what's going to bring you success. And that ultimately is what you're going to be happy with. Because when you get that end result, you'll think like, man, I put in all this work for this, and I did it. I did it. And in the long run, that'll show. It really will. But all right, guys, thanks for joining me today. Like I said, this is a shorter podcast. I've found that the shorter format kind of works for more people. Plus, I'm just super tired, and there's a lot more things I want to do. I'm actually going to start working on that little script story thing I went over in the last podcast. At least I think I did. So anyway, guys, have a good day, have a good night, a good evening whenever you're watching this. Thank you for joining me. Like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you all in the next adventure. Bye, guys.